There is a secret to living a purposeful life, and its name is Shabbat. Our Parsha begins with a very interesting mitzvah or commandment. It tells us that when someone is living in the land of Israel, their field can be planted for 7 years, and when the 7th year comes, that year is the year of Shemitah, a year of rest. And the words of the Torah, V'shavta ha'aretz Shabbat la'Hashem, and the land will rest, a rest for God, seem to be telling us more than meets the eye. I would like to share with you what I think is a great secret. The idea of Shabbat, the 7-day cycle that ends 6 days of work and 1 day of rest, or in the years, 6 years of working a field and 1 year of rest, or even 7 cycles of Shemitah and then rest at the end in Yovel, they carry within them a grain of truth that I think permeates everybody's existence. We are told when a relationship goes sour by friends and family, get back on the horse. Get back out there. Find someone else. You lose your job. The first thing people tell you is, get back out there. The job search is on. Put out your resume. Find a new job somewhere else. But I think that what we're learning from the Torah here is something slightly different. After a natural cycle is completed, in Judaism, each number is given a meaning, and 7's meaning in the Torah is a natural cycle. When a cycle comes to a close, don't move on. Pause, wait, refocus, recalibrate. Understand what it was that worked for you up until now and what it was that didn't. Don't necessarily find another job in the same career. Don't necessarily go out with the same type of person. Maybe the problem actually was that I don't really know what I want or that makes me happy. The idea of Shabbat is creating space where we think what it is, which is the primary purpose of what we do, and what it is that is the secondary purpose. So many people get lost in the cycle of work or in the cycle of dating that the work itself becomes primary and the goal of their work, which is something else, becomes secondary. I was once interviewed by the BBC for a program that was called Jews. And they asked me a question. You know, Jewish people, they work hard. They do jobs that make them a lot of money. Would you say that that makes them materialistic? Kind of a leading question, don't you think, from the Beeb? However, I asked them one question in return, and I said, do you have any idea what it costs to go to Jewish schools or to eat kosher or to take off Shabbat and holidays? These things are expensive. So what your work or money is for is dependent on the mindset that you have when you engage with it. If your days of work are there so that you can provide your children with education, with opportunities maybe that you didn't even have as a child, if you could eat kosher in your house because that's something that is important to you, or keep Shabbat, or celebrate it in a beautiful way and invite guests, even though that might cost money, then the nature of your work itself becomes spiritual. V'shavta ha'aretz Shabbat la'Hashem, the land rests, a rest for God. It allows us to think about a divine purpose in our life and to make the work for us and not the other way around. Similarly, I've noticed in dating and relationships as well, people are so busy trying to find the other that they lose themselves in that search. And they sacrifice the personalities that lie underneath in order to allow themselves to be maybe more palatable to a wider range of people. What a tragedy that is, when the entire purpose of relationship is to find someone that connects with you, the real you. There's an interesting line later on that we read when we talk about the various things that will happen to the Jewish people when things aren't going the right way and they aren't doing the right thing and they need to recalibrate. It says, Az tirtzeh ha'aretz et Shabtoteha. Then, when the Jewish people are driven out of the land of Israel, they go into exile and the land lies barren, the earth will demand its Shabbatot back. I think in life we are given a choice. To think, to focus, to decide which direction we're going in, or in the aftermath of losing ourselves to our job, to our relationships, even to our friendships, when everything crumbles, we get forced into that place. Az tirtzeh ha'aretz at Shabbatify. What a beautiful thing it would be to spend a minute or two in silence thinking at the end of the week what your week was like and how you're going to live next week in a higher or better way. At the end of a relationship, to analyze what it was that went wrong, what you did maybe that kind of caused it that way, and or in other scenarios, what the other person did, and to make sure that you avoid that kind of person doesn't kind of come into your life and into your heart next time round. We were given the gift of intelligence and thought, and sometimes we allow our hearts and emotions to ride roughshod over that. This is the gift of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.